Hey, good morning. This is Joe from Citrus County Porch Life, coming to you from Homosassa, Florida, the southernmost city in Citrus County, Florida. Let's see the AA word of the day today, which is Election Day. And the word for the day is the quality of faith. This has to do with the quality of faith. In no deep or meaningful sense have we ever taken stock of ourselves. We had not even prayed rightly. We had always said, "Grant me wishes," instead of "Thy will be done." And that is taken from 12 Steps and 12 Traditions of AA, page 32. And the daily reflections. God does not grant me material possessions, take away my suffering, or spare me from disasters, but He does give me a good life, the ability to cope, and peace of mind. My prayers are simple. First, they express my gratitude for the good things in my life, regardless of how hard I have had to search for them. And second, I ask only for the strength and the wisdom to do His will. He answers with solutions to my problems, sustaining my ability to live through daily frustrations with the serenity I did not believe existed before, and with the strength to practice the principles of AA in all of my everyday affairs. And this is quite true. As we go on these that teach us how to, unite all the three things we've been speaking about in the last few videos, it's very dense teaching. And we have to accept the fact that God does not grant me material possessions. Some people, some He does. And Solomon, in his writings, he knew that he was the richest man in the world, and he said he didn't understand why some people work harder than him and get less. He had a relationship with God, and God rewarded him. Take my suffering or spare me disasters. And I've had many sufferings in my life. My family of 10 siblings is down to 3. My brother Kevin and my 2 sisters. At one point I had 7 brothers. And He does give me peace of mind, though. I must say that is one of the greatest benefits. When I was drinking, I was always on the edge of a disaster, many of them caused by myself, particularly like paying bills, or I had money. I worked for a bank. I was in a very good position, but I was too into drinking to worry about whether I paid my bills or not. And I had the money. And back in those days, there were no automatic payments, so you had to go and get stamps. Maybe I could pick them up on the way to the liquor store. If I didn't, the thing didn't get sent out till the next time I went. And at one point I had a Chevy S10 pickup, and I would fill the whole back of the S10 pickup with beer, Miller Lite 16-ounce cans. And I would put them in my garage. My garage was previously a horse barn. It had all the things for hay, and I just put them in there. And when I needed another case, which is usually daily, I go out and get it. But I buy 10 or 20 cases of beer and have them there till I needed to use them. So I wouldn't go by the post office again for a while, and that's if I didn't have a stamp, then it didn't get mailed. So I wasn't doing much other than drinking. And it was never, I always wanted to do what I wanted to do, and I wanted to do it my way. That's pretty much taught that God helps those who help themselves. And I wanted to figure out a way of drinking in safety. But basically, I knew I couldn't, so what I did was limit my drinking to being at home, or if I was going out, I went out with friends. I wasn't driving. And I had a very secluded house. You know, you think of Rhode Island as so small, but I lived in a town where I had a lot of land. I had 5.5 acres, and to some that doesn't sound much, but being so close to a big city, it was a lot of land, a lot of. I had a pool way back in my. I got it, a lot of privacy. I had a little bit of paranoia in those days that people knew what I was doing, and I did like the privacy. But I was always asking for more. I can remember I got my first 8088 computer with 5.25 inch floppies, and as soon as I got it, I wanted something better. I just wanted more material possessions, and I had the money to get them. I never really ever asked for the strength and wisdom to do His will. It was always my will, and praying for God to let me do my will, not His. And that was a big turning point in my life when I really, one, saw that my self-will run riot was crazy. I was isolating myself, not seeing very many people at all. The only way I communicate was on the phone, and then I'd be so drunk I didn't remember talking to people, and I'd call them again, and it was really, really bad. But it was a very subtle shift as I moved from that self-will run riot to asking God to give me the strength to carry out His will. And changing and immediately admitting I was wrong. Even before I got in AA, I would do an examination of conscience. But what would happen, it would take me so long to do it that I'd minimize whatever I had done. And then saying, oh, well, the person doesn't even remember it, and I wouldn't make amends. But I have an example of something that I did. It was thoroughly my fault. I wasn't drunk. I was sober when I did it. It was without thinking things through. I was in a bowling league in my hometown of Johnston, Rhode Island. It was very close to my house, so I went there every week. And a friend of mine came, and he was filling in for someone on my team that wasn't normally there. And he was a good bowler, very, very, very good bowler, very powerful bowler. Like that ball went down there at about 32 miles per hour, and he was good. So I wanted to get a picture of him getting a strike. And I took a picture. And it interfered with the guy in the lane next to him, who happened to be very drunk and wanted to kill me, take me outside, beat the shit out of me. And I refused. My old self would have said, okay. I would have apologized anyway, but I would have said, hey, it's not that big of a deal. And it was to him. So I tried to apologize to him. He wouldn't take it. I told him, let me get you another beer. And finally, he became so egregious and so obnoxious that even his friends came over and said, thank you for handling it well. We'll take care of him. And they did. And I saw him again. I don't think he even remembered that it happened. But I took the picture, and it went right in his. The flash went right in his eyes. And I should have thought about how I was going to do the shot rather than the way that I did it. And I apologized to him right away. I didn't try to get out of it. And it's sometimes it's difficult. And so one important thing was I saw myself in him, my previous self when I was drinking. I was so obnoxious, so belligerent, you couldn't tell me a thing. And thankfully, I'm not like that anymore. Or the episodes where I do get like that have decreased. So God bless you all. Have a safe and sober rest of Election Day. Maybe by 9 o'clock tonight we will know who the new president is. I don't get political on here. I don't share who I voted for. But I did vote, and I think everyone should vote. Even if the person you think you want for president, it doesn't look like they're winning. I've done that plenty of times. So God bless, and we will see you tomorrow, maybe with the new president.